and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today we have episode 31. It is April the 1st, 2022. My name is Roz and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada with my husband and my two kids who are 12 and 10. Thank you to all you returning subscribers and welcome to any new subscribers. Today for you I have what am I wearing, finished objects, works in progress, next on my needles, and some chatter. Let's get started. What am I wearing? Today I am wearing my Waiting for Rain shawl. This is by Sylvia McFadden. This is a crescent shape shawl and there are short rows for the lace panels. This is a kit that I bought at Knit City in 2015, which feels like a lifetime ago. And I think that was even when they were at the Croatian Cultural Center, not at the Forum. Maybe that was their first year at the Forum. Maybe. Anyway, that's how long I've been going to Knit City, Vancouver. It is a wonderful event in Vancouver, and I hope that it happens this year. If it is, I'm going, and I hope to see you there. Back to the shawl. This is a kit from Passion Knits, and it's Malabrigo yarn in their Machita base. It's a single ply base, and we have Pearl and Unicornio, and I don't know which one is which. I can't remember, but anyway, those are the colors. And then I had enough left from this kit to make a foolproof. So you've probably seen the foolproof in these colors before because I wear it all the time. This yarn, with it being the singles, is just delightful. It is squishy and comfortable and just cozy. Like as soon as I put it on, you just feel that coziness, but it's so soft. So yeah, there is that. And I don't know what the yarn content is. I didn't write that down. Yeah, I made this in 2016. So basically bought it at the end of 2015 and then cast it on right away because I was so excited to make it. That's it. Well, I also am wearing socks, but I'm not going to show you. We've tried that before. It doesn't work. I am not that flexible, but I've been wearing socks all week. I should start taking pictures when I put out my drying racks, because then I usually have to wash hand knit socks twice a week, because my husband wears his, my son has a couple, and I have hand knit socks. And I wear them like every day. So anyway, there is that. Let's move on to finished objects. My first finished object is small. This is Natasha. She is from the Never Not Gnoming pattern by Sarah Shira. And you'll notice there's something wrong with her hat. So these are the other two. This was January and this was February, and now we have March. And this is for the Year of Gnome knit along that Imagine Landscapes, who is Sarah Shira and her sister's podcast, that they are hosting, mostly Sarah, because she's the one that designs the gnomes. Yeah, so the hat is supposed to be the same. Yeah, it's not, because I cannot read directions. Anyway, I failed to do the correct amount of rows in between the increases. I don't think it's a problem. I just think she has a different look than the other ones, and that's just how it is. So there we go. This is my March gnome, so I've completed the first quarter. Celebrations! I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to display these. I have a couple ideas because it's going to be like a Christmas decoration. So I thought that I could get, just a nice stick from the woods and make like a little thing where I can just hang them all on there at different heights or whatever. But I don't really have a wall where I can hang them for Christmas. We have a lot of pictures up, so I'd have to take some stuff down in order to hang that up, because we have a lot of windows and a lot of open space and not a lot of wall. Option 2 was actually just to hang them on our Christmas tree. So, which we usually have up for at least 6 weeks. So, I don't know. Other options, I am welcome to it. Taylor said that she wanted to build a house for them. And I was like, well, there's going to be 12 of them. This will be the biggest one, but like, that'd be a big house. We'll see whether she actually does that. But anyway, the yarn that I use for these gnomes is Knit Pick Stroll in the Hollyberry, Pine, Ash, and White. And that is the color theme that I'm going for. I've done the body gray on all 3 of these, but I am going to switch it up. Some will be red, some will be green. So just, you know, they're all going to be slightly different. I know these 2 are very similar. Yeah, anyway. So they will all be in these color veins and all be slightly different because that's how I roll. So there we go. I think that's everything about my gnomes. And we'll move on to my next finished object. I have finished my socks. Okay, the toe looks kind of funny. I should have got the bigger sock blockers. They're finished, both of them. Oh my gosh, DK weight socks fly up the needles. When you're used to knitting a fingering weight sock, these are just so fast, so cozy, comfy. They fit my feet perfectly. I still have to wash them. So there's still ends hanging out in there because I don't clip my ends until after the first time I wash them, but they are done. So exciting. So the pattern that I used for these socks is Vanilla Reversed by Annie Fletcher. And I just reconfigured the numbers for a 52 stitch count. Was it 52? Yeah, 52. So yeah, but I used her pattern and just reconfigured the numbers. And the yarn, because of course you want to know about this lovely yarn. This is Ginger Snap That. She is on Etsy, and I will link to her along with everything else that I talk about down below. And this is one of her sock sets in the Hansel colorway. So I split the ball in 2. And I think that I split the main one like pretty perfectly. I'm weighed it, so should be pretty close. But like, I didn't count the rows, but like pretty good there. And yeah, so I just knit all of the yarn. So I did it from the toe up, and I just knit all of this Hansel colorway. And then I just used the minis for the toe and the cuff. And I don't have that much left of either of those. So that is all I have left. So that is everything. Oh, I folded her logo all weird, but you can, there it is. So yeah, and she is at Knit City Montreal this weekend, if you are in that area, and this goes up in time. Yeah, totally in love with these socks. I am so happy with them. And my friend that is knitting the matching pair, she's done the heel, and then she got too scared to continue. So now we need to get together again so she can finish the heel, and then she can just work on the leg on her own. So there we are. Done socks. And I even got my sock blockers like a good podcaster so you can see them. Anyway, now I can wash these bad boys. I will wash these socks by themselves the first time. As with any yarn that has been dyed, whether it's commercial or hand dyed, you probably want to wash all of the yarn by itself, either before you knit it or after you knit it. There can be excess dye that it won't change the color of the yarn, but there can be excess dye that comes off that's just kind of hanging out. So it won't affect the color of your yarn, but sometimes there's just excess dye on the yarn, and then that comes off, and you wouldn't want that to be absorbed into anything else. So, especially with these bright colors. So there we go. That is that, and it's done. The last thing that I finished, I don't actually have to show you, but I will put a picture in. I finished an e-reader pillow for my friend. I think I talked about it on the last podcast. So I knit this one out of some loops and thread Impeccable. It's an acrylic, it's brown, it's soft, it's just absolutely usable. Oh, I have the yarn here. I have the rest of the yarn. So this is the loops and thread, and this is the brown color. So it will be good for her to take camping or out in the yard or just in our house. And it's acrylic, so you can spot clean it pretty easily. And so yeah, that'll be really good for her. And yeah, I hope she enjoys it. The e-reader is pattern is the e-reader pillow prop by Elizabeth Arundel. And yeah, so I have made many e-reader pillows now. I'm going to give that pattern a break. But I have a couple to give away as gifts and stuff. So it works really well for your phone as well. Not for like an iPad though. Maybe like the half-size iPad it would work, but not anything bigger. But a phone or an e-reader would totally work. So there you go. That is all of my finished objects, and we will move on to works in progress. First up, we'll talk about my Hinterland sweater. I have not touched it in 2 weeks. Sorry. I'll still pull it out because it's beautiful to look at. But, so there we are. Oh, yarn everywhere. So this is the Hinterland by Jennifer Steinglass. And it is a beautiful colorwork pattern. My floats look amazing, if I do say so myself. So just enough give to them. The color was really popping, and I just haven't had the time to just sit down and work on this bad boy because it takes concentration and counting, and my children tend to interrupt me as soon as I sit down, so I just never pick it up. And I can't do it while I'm doing something else, like watching TV or listening to an audiobook or reading a book. It just takes a little bit more concentration. Once I get through the color work, this will be a zoom project of just knitting in the round, but there we are. The yarn that I'm using for this one is a Cascade 220 in their fingering weight in Plum, Dark Plum, and Bear. So yeah, or Buff, B-U-F-F. I'll put it all here. Oh dear. It's been a day, and it's only like 9:30 in the morning. But it's my day off of work, so I'm recording. It's happening. And you guys will just have to go along with it. The second sweater that I'm working on is Taylor's birthday sweater, and I've made no progress on that either. But here it is. Same place as it was last time. It is fairly crumpled now because it's been stuffed in a bag. This is the body of the sweater, and this will be for her birthday, which isn't until November. I have lots of time. So this will be a Mrs. Weasley home knit Christmas sweater. So if you've seen the movies, Mrs. Weasley gives sweaters to her kids and also to Harry Potter in their house colors with the first initial of their name on the front. So hers will have a T on it for Taylor. And the yarn that I've used for this one is a Cascade 220, and this is the cranberry. And then the other color, because she is a Ravenclaw, and the other color is Sunflower, which is like a really deep gold. So it is going to be beautiful, and I hope she loves it. But I've not made any progress on that either. But the last project that I want to talk about, I have made progress. I finished the thumbs. So let's put this bad boy on. We have 2 completed mittens. The ends have not been woven in, all of them. Oh my goodness. There we go. It doesn't fit over my watch. There we go. Got it. Ta-da! So these are the Dream Fingerless Mitts by Marsha Healey, who is a friend of mine. And yeah, thumbs are done. And I don't know how big the hands of the people that these are going to, but hopefully they work well. And then it's hard to do when you have the gloves on, but you can fold it down, you get the idea, and then you fold the thumb down. So then you have your hands free to text or do something with a key or whatever, and your hands are still warm, and then when you're ready, you just pop them back up and good to go, and keep your hands toasty, toasty warm. So those are those. And yeah, so these are going to be gifts for Cooper's teachers as their end of the year gift. I always knit something for their teachers. And yeah, so I'm losing my train of thought, guys. He has two teachers because he's in a community learning program. So he has two main teachers for his French half of their community, and then I'm going to knit a couple hats for the other two teachers in his community. He doesn't spend as much time with them, so or maybe headbands. I've been thinking about that too. So there we are. Two are done. The yarn is a stationery set by the Yarn Enabler. So it was two sets of yarn. So this will be one glove and one glove for each teacher, and I have started the paper. So I think it looks really good. I'm super excited about it. So the red line is to signify, you know, like the red line going down the paper. And then yeah, it's white paper with the blue lines. And let's pull that. There we go. Now we can see them properly. So yeah, just working away on the cuff. I am marking it so I know how many rounds I've done. And the cuff is quite long, so I'm about halfway on the cuff. Yeah, anyway, loving it. I wasn't sure about the red stripe to begin with, but now that I see it in there, it totally makes sense. Most likely it'll be up under their sleeves anyway, unless they wear them with short sleeves. So there we go. So it'll be pencil and paper. So that is it. Did I talk about that? And I talked about the pattern, and I talked about the yarn, and that is it for my works in progress. Let's move on to next on my needles. Next on my needles, I have been pondering some baby knits. No, I am not having another baby, but my coworker is, and I love giving away some baby knits. Usually just like a hat and a toy or something like that. So I was alerted to the fact that yarn was 30% off at Michael's last week, and I happened to have a gift card for $50 to Michael's. So I was like, 30% more yarn makes sense to me. So I ordered some Bernat velvet and some, I think just the Impeccable, like the plain Impeccable. They're both in acrylic yarn. When I'm gifting baby knits, especially to people who I don't know what their kind of crafty situation, if they would, you know, want to look after wool or whatever. And babies just get everything so messy. I do acrylic because it can go in the washer and dryer. They can, you know, they can quickly clean it. When you have a new baby, you need stuff that's easily cleaned, not stuff that's precious and can't get dirty, because they just won't wear it. So I always do acrylic. So I think I'm gonna make, there's a crochet pattern for a bear out of the velvet, and probably a couple little hats. Apparently they're into like robots and dinosaurs, so I'll see what I can do with that. I did, when my son was young, I made him, I think the hat's called Roar. Anyways, it has like the Stegosaurus bumps along the top, so I think I am going to make that one in a nice little cute baby size. And yeah, baby knits, quick and easy baby knits, but I'm just brainstorming all sorts of ideas. I bought a bunch of other yarn too, and when it arrives, I will for sure show you. I've been wanting to make a sweater called Ease, and I can't remember who it's by, but I will put it here. And so I bought some yarn for that. It's just like a gray wool yarn, but it's just a sweater. It's got a bit of a collar, like a bit of a neck on it, but it's kind of loose, and it's, you know, anyway, it's just like a totally my style of sweater. I don't like anything too tight or fitting. So that, what else did I get? Oh, I got some sock yarn, because of course you can't buy yarn without buying some sock yarn. Speaking of sock yarn, and I probably should put this in the stash segment, but we'll just call it next on my needles because I will be casting it on very soon. A couple weeks ago, I guess it was the day that I recorded the last podcast, I had to run some errands in Kelowna. So I thought that I would go visit a yarn store, because why not? So I was looking for different yarn, but I just couldn't decide. I didn't have a very specific pattern in mind, so I just bought some sock yarn. So I bought some Regia Perfect Cloud Color 4-ply, and this is the color 7137. And I don't know how well you can see that, but it is a dark, it's really hard to see in the ball. Maybe you can see like some of the colors right there. So it's like a navy, a teal, and a purple. So the foot is like mostly navy with pops of the purple and the blue. And then the ankle is teal with pops of the purple and the navy. I hope I'm explaining that right. Hopefully you can see all of those different colors and it's showing up nicely. But yeah, this Regia yarn makes two perfectly matching socks if you follow the very brief description on the inside. Luckily I'm pretty experienced in making socks now, so it all makes sense to me. But yeah, so the yellow is not part of it. The yellow is just the leader yarn, and you start from the middle. And now, of course, it's not gonna, there we go. It's gonna make a mess. Perfect. That's what I wanted. So you start from the yellow, and you cut off the yellow bit, and you start with this blue. And then, yeah, so it's really hard to see, but the cuff will just be this blue, and then there's a line of the dark blue, and that's when you know you start the leg, and then you get down to where there's a line of dark blue and a line of light blue, and then you start the heel, and then continue on with the foot, and they leave you lots and lots of this toe color so that you can make it as long or as short as you need to fit your foot. And then there'll be a yellow piece in the middle, and then so you'll cut that off and start with the teal again. And the idea is that you will have two perfectly matching socks after knitting with this one ball of yarn. So I am very excited about that. You know, I have been feeling a bit sorry for myself since discovering that I'm allergic to wheat and gluten, or not wheat, but gluten. So just trying to figure out other ways that I can enjoy myself. Knitting is definitely one of those, and I love hand knit socks. So more hand knit socks for me is where it's at. We'll move right on to chit chatter because that's where I seem to be headed. So it has been spring break for the last 2 weeks. Somehow today, my husband is not home, my son is not home, my daughter is downstairs watching videos. She said she didn't want to be in the video today, which is fine. And yeah, so it is a fairly quiet house around here, which is very nice. Over spring break, it was quite a bit. I took a couple days off and we had a few friends come and visit for a while. And then we had some other friends come and stay for one night. So it was great to do a lot of visiting, but it was a lot for a week, but we made it through. We got to see some friends, which was really nice. And yeah, that was good. It was also Cooper's birthday at the same time. He had a little party where we took some of his friends to laser tag and then out for dinner. So I'll put some pictures in of that. And then his actual birthday was in between our friend visits. So we had Grandma and Fafa over for dinner, and he opened his presents and stuff like that. So yeah, he was a little bit spoiled this year. Yeah, but anyway, when you only turn 12 once, right? So that was a very busy week though. And this past week has been a little quieter. The kids have still been out. They went to Grandma and Fafa's again for a sleepover. They went to their friend's house. They went to a rock climbing camp. And now we have a bit quieter of a weekend, and you know, just kind of get in the groove to start back on Monday, and yeah, get back to the regular schedule. I don't know about you guys, but I love my schedule. I like knowing what's going to happen during the week. I like to know when I've got time to do things. I don't like spring break. I don't find it relaxing for the kids because I have to find other things for them to do while Mike and I are working. So anyway, it's fine. They need a break from school. I get it. It's fine. We've got through it. We're moving on. But speaking of spring, it is definitely here. Despite being -1 when I woke up this morning, it has been well above 10 degrees consistently throughout the day. So it's been really nice outside. I've been getting out as much as I can for walks, and the lake is no longer frozen. So definitely warmer weather. We've been sitting out on the deck some, and it's been really nice to have just the sun streaming in and just getting that warmth, that natural warmth back into your body. So yeah. And also my husband has turned down the thermostat, which means when I'm in my office in the basement, I have many sweaters to put on. I keep looking at my notes. What else do I have here? The last thing is Taylor decided to make her own Play-Doh. This was something that I did with them a lot when they were little, because of course the Play-Doh dries out over time. But yeah, we had all the ingredients and she wanted to make something, and I was like, oh, I don't know about making cookies. It takes so long, blah, blah. She's like, what about Play-Doh? She was like, we have like a index cards with all the recipes on it, and she's like, I can make some Play-Doh and then I can just like make stuff. And I was like, sure. So she made Play-Doh. I will include some photos of a couple things that she has made, and she really, you know, she loves it, and then she gets to squish it afterwards, which is also fun. So I think that is everything for the last 2 weeks, everything that I need to chat about. It's been, you know, a lot going on, but also kind of just you know, plugging along. So I will talk to you guys again in 2 weeks' time, and I hope you have a great couple weeks of knitting. See you next time. Bye.
All right, Taylor, what are we doing here? Wait. What are we doing here?
I'm going to squish my flower.
Squish your flower. All right, you want a close-up on that?
And it's dough again.
What do you think, Bear?
Not a flower anymore.
It is dough. Dough!
Dough.
It's gonna beep. Background noise, just what you all wanted. Beeping microwaves and dryer sounds.